I'm here with Paul from Cookers. So welcome, Paul.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much, Jeffrey. Nice to meet you.
Yeah,
The
great.
show's going really great. So we've got our display today, which basically instead of you lifting a tin of oil and going and putting it into the fryer,
Yeah.
you can come along, grab this, put that in the top of the fryer, pull the trigger, and fill up your fryer.
Dispense your oil.
Nice and easy.
Yep.
Nice
So
and
no
easy.
more
Yeah.
when I was in the kitchen, you know, when the delivery arrived, we'd pull the drums into the kitchen and have to put them into the dry store, and then when we change the oil...
Don't need to do that anymore.
Oh, you don't need to
No.
change the oil either? So
No,
what happens
sorry,
with the oil?
In terms of changing the oil, you do, yeah, but
Uh-huh.
you don't have to lift the drums or carry the drums or put them in the storeroom, bring them back
Yeah.
into the kitchen. Our guys will come through on an automatic rotation, so we'll fill
Right.
up this tank weekly for you.
Okay.
And all you're doing is paying for the oil that you use.
Right.
So if you've used, say, 60 litres or 80 litres or 100 litres,
Yeah.
you're just invoiced per litre, and that's what it takes to fill up the tank. And
Okay.
that's it.
So in understanding this, if I've the concept around it is that instead of me getting drums into my business,
That's right.
I can get one of these the vats, the vessels,
Mhm.
and I bring that into the
Into
kitchen,
the kitchen, yes.
and I plug that in. It's got a pump on it.
That's right.
So I then use like a Bowser and I fill up my deep
Nice
fryer
and
with
easy.
oil.
Yes, nice and easy.
And then once I've finished with the oil and maybe got the use out of it, and then what happens
You
to
wanna
the
take-
oil?
okay, this is-
so I need to
this is
change the
great.
oil.
Okay,
Yeah.
we've got a vacuum tank.
What? A
A vacuum tank, which we call a vac tank.
Okay.
You pop that in the top of the fryer,
Yeah.
flick the switch.
So you push that
right,
into the oil?
Into the oil,
Yep.
and it just sucks all the oil out. It takes about 30 seconds, and it'll clean your fryer out for you.
Okay.
So no more putting it into a pot,
Yep.
carrying a pot and pouring it in the
hot
top of the
pot
hoist.
into the 44-gallon drum
It
out the back.
eliminates it all.
Okay.
In about 30 seconds, you've taken the oil out of the fryer.
Yeah.
Right, it's ready to be cleaned. Pop that back in the top there. You can push that back in underneath the bench,
Yep.
and it sits nice. It sits nice and comfortably in the kitchen.
Okay.
You know,
So have they been designed to fit under the bench, have they?
We've got different types of tanks. We've
Okay.
got tanks that are 900 high, which serve as a bench height.
Oh, right.
It's food grade stainless steel, so you can use it in the kitchen as a
As a
bench
prep
top. As a
bench.
prep
Okay.
bench, yep. So they're really practical because if you want to extend a bench for a day or for a service, you can actually wheel that out, put it in place, go for your life, use it. When you're finished with it, put it back under the bench.
Okay.
We've got a couple of different heights, and we can also custom make tanks too.
Okay.
Because in a lot of venues that you go to, new venues have got room, a lot of old venues haven't, so you've really got to come up with a solution. And that's part of my role is I'll go out and find it. If I'll assess your needs, what you require,
Okay.
and then I can put a proposal forward to you and sort of say, okay, well, this is what we can come up with that'll best suit your requirements.
So a lot of the time we're talking about saving on waste disposal,
Yes.
on safety and lifting drums of oil.
Yes.
So these are on casters, you can wheel
They're
them
on
around.
wheels, they're portable,
Yeah.
yep.
And also, again, like spillage, like lifting and pouring and
don't
things
have
like
it.
that. It's all
Yeah.
pretty
Don't have
much
it. Simple on
negated.
the trigger. That's
Okay.
right. So it's what we basically do is I suppose we set the system up in the kitchen. There's no contract,
Uh-huh.
so we supply premium frying oil,
Okay.
right, which is a
Is
high
it
performance.
a high performance oil?
It's a high performance
Yep.
frying oil. It'll outlast most of the oils on the market. And as a sales guy, I'm going to say we've got the best oil on the market, and
Yep.
I comfortably know that.
Yep.
I can go into a venue and people say to me, I pay less for my oil, or I use this oil or use that oil. I can do a free assessment for them, and I can show them that our oil does outlast oils that are on the market.
Okay.
It's terrific. So in terms of product, we supply a premium product where the chefs really, really like it.
Yep.
In terms of the owners are really satisfied because you've got OH&S equipment that sort of no one's going to say, I've hurt me back lifting drums of oil
Yeah.
anymore. And because it's on a system, we automatically just come through, fill up the oil for you, and we automatically come through and take away the waste oil for you.
Okay.
Now, as a company, we actually turn that old oil into biodiesel, and our truck that does your delivery is actually running on that new oil.
Oh, wow. So the actual oil that we've been frying in,
That's right.
you
Running on that.
run your delivery vehicles
Our truck on that, yeah.
Oh, that's a fantastic
So, it's-
savings, isn't it?
Oh, it's huge.
For yourself and also the environment as
Yeah.
well. And, talking about palm oils and those sort of things, I noticed that you've got Save the Native Forests from becoming palm. Is that
That's right.
something that your company's very conscious of?
Well, because we do liquid oil, we are conscious of that. And behind the scenes, like what a lot of people don't realise is that we actually we do support the Royal Melbourne Zoo and the orangutans from deforestation.
Okay.
So by having our system in place and a top quality oil, which we do primarily a High Lake sunflower and cottonseed
Okay.
and a canola oil,
Yep.
we also have in our range an olive oil. But we certainly don't use palm solids or liquid, oils that aren't really favourable in the market.
Yep.
So
What's the biggest installation you've done?
Gosh, we've got some really unique systems out there where we've
Yep.
actually gone in and we've actually put tanks under buildings and plumbed them to fryers.
So you have a direct feed system?
direct feed system.
So
and timers,
when the truck arrives, it would fill up a tank outside
That's
the
right.
building, maybe?
automatic remote. And
Yep.
then, yep.
And then what? It pumps the oil into the
Pumps
fryer?
into a main station. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So we've got a couple of different setups, and like we do from restaurants where you got fish and chip shops and restaurants that might use this system to say a caterer that might use a bulk tank, and the bulk tank might be could be 5,000 litres of oil.
Yep.
And then we'll assess your needs and sort of come up with a proposal that's going to work best for you.
Yep. And what if I was a medium sort of food manufacturer where I'm, again, using a large quantity of oil? Would that favour to a direct feed system?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it all depends. We'll assess your site and sort of work out what's best for you.
Okay.
Because sometimes you might have an idea in your mind and might say, you know what, if I could make this happen, that'd be great.
Yeah.
And we're likely to be able to do that for you.
Okay.
So we can custom make tanks to suit. So,
Yeah. And what sort of savings do you think that you offer the customers, your customers?
Okay, well, generally, if I walk into a customer, I can make an assessment where I'm confident there's about a 20% saving overall.
Okay.
So in terms of management and oil management, and like we said before about lifting drums and carrying drums and disposal, people don't realise that the amount of room that a drum takes in a bin. For instance, you might be getting a bin picked up once a month because you've got so many drums going, or once a week because there's so many drums going into it.
Yeah.
Every 5 drums of oil, you've practically got about a litre of oil left in it. So
That's true. I remember our chef having to poke holes in the bottom of the drum and leaning it over the fryer to get the last bit of remains in the bottom of the drum. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that eliminates all that. So you got saving upon saving, which is a lot of people don't realise those. You microanalyse it. There's a lot of money lost in chefs just moving product in and out of a kitchen, staff going down the back and putting it in the waste. Plus, you got the risk of someone hurting themselves.
Well, I think no matter of looking at savings and costs and things like that, if someone was actually hurt, I mean, I'd hate to think one of my chefs got hurt in the kitchen because of an oil issue in changing the fryer and things like that. So I suppose they're the sort of benefits where you can't put a cost on. So that's fantastic, fantastic system.
It still happens in kitchens when you walk in and you see people with the pots and you sort of think, you've seen the ads on telly and you sort of think, this doesn't cost you anything to have it put in, and we don't have a contract. So at any point in time, if you're not happy with our service, you're going to ring us up. I'm going to do the best I can to keep you as a customer. But if you're not happy, there's no contract. So you're not locked in.
Okay. And a lot of our readers, they're national. They're from right around Australia. Do you offer service in?
Yes, we're national.
You're national as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we're more than happy if someone is in a remote area to also address that and to go out and see what we can do for them.
Yep.
So,
and if our readers wanted more information about Cookers, how would they get some more information on it?
www.cookers.com.au.
Okay.
We're on our website.
Yep.
They can contact us ourselves direct.
Yes.
We've got the 1300 number, which is 1300 882299.
Yep.
And you'll get us 24/7. And that's also another thing that sets us apart from other companies. You will get someone answering the phone 24/7.
Fantastic.
So you never run out of oil.
Because that's how businesses operate these days, don't they? We're, food service and hospitality is a 24-hour-a-day, 7-day-a-week industry.
That's right.
And therefore we need to be able to, so that's great that your service is geared that way. Not a lot of companies do that, you're right.
That's right. Well, we know chefs do finish at 1 o'clock in the morning, and they haven't put they think they haven't put their order through, and with this system being automatic, we're automatically going to come past on your scheduled run and fill up your oil for you.
Oh, that's great.
If you're using, say, 80 litres, for instance, this is a 160 litre tank.
Okay.
So if I put you on a weekly delivery, you're always going to have 80 litres reserved.
Right.
So always, if you get that real hit where you get really busy for a weekend, or might be Melbourne Cup weekend or something, you've still got extra oil in your tank to cover you through that busy period.
Yep.
So it's
and how long have you been in business? How long's Cookers been around? 11 years now.
Yeah. And we're Australian wide.
Yep.
And our product is actually made here in Tullamarine, the units.
Okay.
That's all Australian made. It's Australian oil, and our oil is actually delivered fresh to you. So if you're lucky if it's less than 2 days old when it gets delivered to the customer.
Okay.
When it arrives.
So that sounds great, and thanks very much for spending the time with us.
My pleasure.
Remembering that if you do need any more information, go to the Cookers website, and I'm sure that we'll sort of haul around in the future.